For a stylish yet easy to make wall hanging pattern, stay tuned because we've got you covered in this video. Here from Bochiknot Macrame, and in today's tutorial we will be going over a simple yet stylish macrame wall hanging pattern. What's super fun and cool about this pattern is that we will be playing with different sizes of cords. We will be using two different sizes of cords for this pattern. We will be using 5mm and 9mm single strand cord. Using these two different sizes of cords, we will be using one knot pattern to make each of the columns that you see on the macrame wall hanging. Some may refer to this knot as the wave knot, some may refer to it as the friendship bracelet knot. I like this knot because it's more unique and fun compared to some of the popular knots that you see very often, like the square knot. And it's also fairly easy to make. Before we jump right in, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up and click that subscribe button if you haven't already so that you can stay tuned to our latest DIY macrame tutorials. And with that said, let's jump right in.
You will need a few materials and supplies for this pattern. I've used two different sized cords along with two wooden dowels. I will be using three different cords for this pattern project from left to right. Left is our 9mm single strand cord from our Lush line. In our middle, we have our 5mm buttercream single strand Giza cotton cord. So you can see it has a nice shine to it. And that's because Giza cotton fibers are super fine, making them really soft. I'm just using this Giza cotton cord for the anchor cord just to break it up so you can see which cords are the anchor cords, which cords are the working cords for the wave knot. And then here on the far right, we have our 5mm single strand cord from our rainbow cord line. And this is a recycled cotton cord on the right. Both of these cords are comfortable to knot with and are nice and sturdy. So for this pattern, we will be using two wooden dowels at 24 inches in length. To start off our very first column, we are going to take our strand of anchor cord at 170 centimeters long, fold it in half, attach it onto the dowel with a reverse Lark's head plus half hitch knot. Now we're going to take a strand of natural colored cord at 190 centimeters long. We're going to find the halfway mark of the natural cord, place it behind the two vertical cords, and then we're going to start our first wave knot. We're going to make a loop with the left end, then take the right cord and bring it sideways to the left, through the back and through the loop on the right to tighten. And you've completed your first wave knot. Now I'm going to make a second one with another loop with the left cord end, bring the right cord in underneath the left side and then through the right loop. Continue with these wave knots all the way down until you've made a total of 12 wave knots. So we've already made 2, we're going to make 10 more underneath. Once you're done your 12 consecutive wave knots, this is what the pattern should look like. You should have a nice sennit pattern with 12 wave knots. And then now what we're going to do is we're going to add on a 9mm strand of cord with another wave knot sennit, and this time we're going to have all 4 vertical strands right here as the anchor cords inside this larger wave knot sennit. So again, taking the middle spot of the 9mm cord, we're going to take the left end, make a loop, take the right end down to the left side, and then up through the right loop to tighten for the first wave knot. When you are working with such a thick single strand cord, it is inevitable that it will unravel fairly easily. So it is good to be mindful and be a little gentle with tightening and making the knots with the 9mm strands of cord. Then we're going to repeat the same knot again underneath, make a loop with the left end, take the right end through the left side and up the right loop through the back. Using the 9mm strands of cords, we will be making a total of 8 wave knots. So we've made 2 now, we're going to make 6 more underneath. So now once we have completed all 6 wave knots, we are complete with our very first column of the pattern. This column is actually the column on the far left. We're going to take away wave knots from the natural colored pattern with every column we make to the right, and then add it underneath the 9mm wave knot portion. I'll walk you through what it means by this, but first take another strand of anchor cord at 170 centimeters long and make a reverse lark's head plus half hitch knot on the right. Now taking a strand of cord at 190 centimeters long, we are going to make, instead of 12 wave knots, we're making 1 less, so 11 wave knots. Now bring the pattern up, take our strand of 9mm cord at 175 centimeters long. We're going to make another 8 consecutive wave knots. You should see here that the 11 wave knots we made with the natural color cords means that that section is slightly shorter than the section on the left. As you can see here, the one on the right is slightly higher than the one on the left. Now to make it even at the bottom, what we're going to do is take the natural colored cords at the bottom and finish off with one more wave knot. What's going to happen with the rest of the patterns on the right is we're going to make one less wave knot on the upper portion and one more wave knot at the bottom until we reach all the way to the right until there is no wave knot needed to be made at the top, and then 12 wave knots are made only at the bottom. So add 4 more wave knot sections just like what I had discussed to the right. As you can see at the top, it's sliding diagonally upwards over to the right, and at the bottom, we're adding one more wave knot with every column we make to the right. Now we're going to finish this entire pattern off. We now have 6 columns made. We're going to make 7 more columns to the right. So when you make it to the very last column on the right, instead of starting with the natural colored cord first, because we're not starting with a wave knot with the natural colored cord on the far right pattern, we're just going to take our 9mm cord and make 8 wave knots with this thicker cord first. Then at the bottom, take our natural colored cord and make 12 consecutive wave knots. Once done, this is what the pattern should look like. We should have the 9mm sections sliding up all the way to the top right side, and then the natural colored cords filling up the rest of the space on the left and on the bottom right. Now we're going to turn this pattern to the back side and we're going to close off the sections. This is where you'll need your crochet hook, or if you don't have a crochet hook, you can glue the ends to the back as well. All you have to do is take your crochet hook and weave the cord ends through a loop on the knot right above. Once done, cut off the excess cord ends. Now with the other cord end, we're going to weave it through the exact same loop on the left side. Once weaved through, cut off the excess cord ends. Try to trim as much of the ends off as you can so that when you look at the pattern from the front, you don't see the little cord ends sticking out at the back. Now repeat the same thing across the rest of the columns with the 9mm sections. Once we've cleaned up all of the 9mm sections, we can turn the pattern back to the front, and now we're going to close off the remaining sections at the bottom. To do that, we will need our second wooden dowel. And what we're just going to do is take the anchor cord ends and make double half hitch knots onto the bottom dowel. All of the natural cord ends should be sitting at the back of the dowel. And now to close off this section, we're going to make some gathering knots at the very bottom. Using 35cm long cords, we're going to take each section as anchor cords, and we're going to use that cord as a working cord for a gathering knot. Now repeat this for all of the remaining sections to the left and to the right. Last but not least, trim the fringe at the bottom to your desired length.
One of the things that I did find challenging with this pattern was closing off the ends of the sennit patterns. I want to hear from you guys what you guys thought of the pattern, so let me know in the comment section below. If you guys are interested in advancing your macrame skill set from beginner to advanced level, you may be interested in joining our Bochiknot macrame community on Patreon, where we release weekly exclusive videos and tutorials going over technical macrame skills. If you are interested in that, you can head on over to www.patreon.com/Bochiknot for more details. I hope you guys had so much fun with this one. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.